out in the streets, stuff like that. Just away from my family, started being in the streets and started running all kinds of problems. Friends getting killed around me. I got shot up and so forth, and was on drugs and all that, and was lost for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Lost, really lost, and unhappy. Thought I was happy. I could put the picture on like I was happy, but wasn't ever really happy. And I didn't really know what happiness was because all my friends that I was around and my neighborhood and all of that appeared as happy. My mom would always tell me stuff about you need a personal relationship with your higher power, with God and all that. And she would tell me things like, "You're a child of God. You can't do what everybody else do." And I'd be like, all right," thinking that was something you tell your kids so they stay out of trouble. But until I started being lost and being unhappy for so long, and I'm sitting there like losing friends, like, what the hell's going on? What is going on? So I noticed one of the first things was my perception was off. Cause with that perception being off, it made me very paranoid. Cause I was sitting around waiting to win. I'm gonna be next to die. And a lot of times I was supposed to die, but didn't die. So in the course of my journey of different things, I stumbled on a certified peer specialist thing. One of the first things they talked about was your worldview. Our worldview,
Slap back.
which is the perception of stuff.
Okay, that's good.
I mean, we all have a worldview, and your worldview pretty much comes from where you grew up at,
Mm-hmm.
your age, your ethnicity, your race, uh, a lot of different things. We all have we all have our own perception from that. And there was a dude in here. He talked about that. He talked about. Hold on 1 second. I had it on there. Then somebody flipped it on me. Okay, yeah, the worldview. These things, where you grew up at, your age, your race, your ethnicity, your sex, your gender, your religion, your culture, your education, your political affiliation, economic classes, family dynamics, and life experiences. All those come added up to your worldview. And that adds to your perception of how you perceive different things. Now, this dude named Chris Agris, he broke down perception in stages. It's called the ladder of inference. Okay, now, whatever you perceive or whatever you see. All right, now, perfect example, they broke down to me when I was in class. It was like, okay, you might be going to a parking spot, you might be in the mall, in the shopping center, you go into a parking spot, somebody pull in before you. Automatically, you like, that motherfucker, you done pull that spot before me, you ready to snap on him or go off or whatever, but you don't know that man had got a call. His wife was having a baby, so he just, first available spot, he jump out, go see about his wife. But the way I was raised, I'm like, oh man, that dude just jumped and took my spot. I'm ready to jump out and run down on him. And the whole time he's trying to figure out what's going on with his wife. So the first thing you might see, we observe the situation. Like, damn, that dude took my parking spot. Next thing you have an option. We all have choices, okay? Do we can perceive it to be that, or can we think deeper, like not take it so personal? And it's called deflect data from what I observed. From there, you automatically gonna make an assumption based on the meaning you add to that. Because a lot of times your mind it keeps playing. My mind keeps playing back. If I don't sit there and just assess it immediately and don't take it so personal, it'll keep playing back. Oh, that dude played you. You know what I mean? He don't know who you is. He done took your spot, seen you getting ready to pull in, and he really didn't. That man was going to go check on to see what's up with his wife, because that's really more important than me going to where I was going to probably do. I was probably going to go spend some money that I need to have me really spend. But then from there, we automatically draw a conclusion. Automatically. You know what I mean? Now you still have that choice. Is it that or ain't it that? Do I need to really sit here until he come back out and really tell him a piece of my mind, or let that man go find another spot? This is a big parking lot. It's a real big parking lot. Then from there, you adopt beliefs about the world. Because of your situation, wherever you at, you're gonna automatically, your brain gonna wire that way. It's gonna automatically have beliefs. You're gonna feed yourself Then from there, you take actions based on my beliefs. Take actions based on your beliefs, whatever you telling yourself. If you sit there keep telling yourself, that dude took my spot, I'm gonna tell him a thing or two, then you're gonna act on it. Or, you know what, it ain't that deep, let me find another spot, then you go find another spot, or whatever. But all of that part of was I had to understand all of that as a part of my recovery too. Because when I was addicted on many different things, I would only think somebody could teach me something. Because I've been in rehab multiple times. Multiple times. So I felt the only person that could teach me something is that they was an addict. And that's wrong. Because I have a 23-year-old son that teaches me things all the time, and he's not an addict or alcoholic. He's actually the youth pastor. So he tells me, he teaching me ways that he don't even be telling me. I be just looking. And I be like, damn, because he's very successful. And it's not about money-wise. He's successful because he's always joyous and free. And he does whatever he want to do, and it's always laid out there for him. He don't even got to ask me for money. And I be like, damn, bet. But when I was in my addiction, I borrowed money from him. My 23-year-old son, I would borrow money from him. And I had to pay him back, because that's my son. He ain't going to let me ride out with it. But, I mean, for real. But just, I mean, I had to really change my whole perception, period. I really had to. And I think the program for that, because I couldn't do it on my own. I tried many times of just being able to just be away from, just being able to change myself. Because the bottom line, I wanted to be a better human being, because the way the drugs took me to, it was something that I didn't want to be. And I used to always say, every time I put this in me, I turn into a monster. Because I was always doing stuff that I didn't normally would do. And then I would do it so much, it would start to feel comfortable, and I would get little glimpses of reality, like, that shit ain't cool. I'd be like, man. Then I used to block it out for years. Different things I would do, I would block out. I had this little box, I used to put all the bad stuff I did in there, and I wouldn't have to think about it. So I thought. But then it would come back to me different times. I could be driving, I'd be like, damn, baby, you did that. I might be on the toilet taking a shit or something. Damn, you did that. So it was a lot of different things. So I really had to do some work on myself. And I think, I don't care. For me, I go to all programs. I go to AA, I go to NA, I go to church. Yeah, I mean, I was even studying Buddhism at one time. I was going to the temple because I needed help from anything that I felt that could help me. I was doing it. And I got different pieces from different things. Different things, because I knew that the friends that I was being around, they could only give me advice for where they was at. And they wasn't bad people. They was just sick just as me. We was condoning each other's stuff. And I wanted to elevate from that. As I said, I wanted to be a better human being all the way around. And I had to put the work involved. I had to put the work. Because I sat around for so long, for many years, just thinking that thing would just happen. It's going I don't know, just going to just happen without me having to really do some real work, really sitting there thinking, reflecting. You know, I mean, asking people for help. That was one of the biggest things. Asking somebody for help. That was big. That was real big. It was real big. But now, I ain't got no shame. I ask anybody for help. I can ask somebody where the good stuff is at, or I can ask somebody if I'm lost and I'm somewhere I ain't supposed to be at. I can ask somebody for help then. But it's really one day at a time. That works major in my life, because me doing it one day at a time really made me be able to rely on my higher power, because I was always used to planning ahead, planning this weekend I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do this there. Man, this program really worked though. That's what I can really say, man. Really, I had to be honest with myself for one. I had to have an open mind that I can be taught, and I can learn something new, and I had to be willing to take suggestions, to take the help. And things just started coming up. I couldn't beat myself up. I couldn't beat myself up. I had to forgive myself and understand, because I used to always try to play like I was perfect. Always try to be like I was perfect. And my mom, like my biggest supporter, she like, everybody don't got, my mom's 76. She always tell me, everybody ain't got it all together. I'm 76. I ain't got it together. But what I do is talk to people who's older than me and give me some credible advice. And I'd be like, oh, all right. So, You know what I mean? I keep certain people around that can help me. It's doing things that I want to achieve too. You know what I mean? And somebody ain't gonna beat me up. Look, I know the people that's gonna lead me astray. I feel that and gut it. I thank God for that. I can feel that. I'd be like, you know what? I ain't gonna be around this person too much longer. I can just feel that. I don't know what spidey senses or what, but I can just feel that. And I just really stay in the day and I try to make the best that I can within that day. You know what I mean? And after that day, so after that, I can start another day. I thank God every morning for letting me get another day just to get it right. To finally be doing the right things for myself. You know what I mean? And that's all, man. Like, when I was in rehab, I said this too. I said, man, if I was willing to give my life to all the nonsense and all the drugs, why I can't give my life to just help other people? I made that decision, man. That's all I be doing, man. Thanks for allowing me to share that.
What's that clean, man?
I have 132 days.
Hey,
Right. Lot of time. Come on, work your butt up here. All right.
good.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
How you doing?
All right, man. I'm DeAndre. I'm definitely an addict. Problem definitely me. First and foremost, I always want to give thanks to God for the day He's afforded all of us. Today, it's beautiful. We're back here in Washington, D.C. It's always a pleasure to come when we do come. So today, man, we're going to do relapse warnings / studying our opponent. And
Excuse me, real quick. He said, don't leave, the pieces coming. All right, go ahead.
Don't leave, pieces coming. Y'all hear that, right?
All right.
All right. / studying my opponent. First, we're going to start with our disease on defense. We're going to start, okay, we're going to flip a coin. We'll flip the coin. Boom, heads. The disease is on offense.
What you call it? What you call it?
Disease on offense.
Hands.
All right. Well, the disease is what? How they do? The defense kick to the offense, right? Okay. Well, we're gonna kick it off with the offense. That's our disease on offense. He's gonna come at us on offense with King Baby. He's gonna be the King Baby. These are the small behaviors that it entails with us. Can you see? I want you to be able to see. I had the right squeeze it in there. Cool. That's all. We're gonna start off with the King Baby and Queen Baby. Want what we want when we want it behavior. Well, that behavior comes with a lot of time. You know, getting what we want, wanting what we want, not changing the way we thinking, keeping those same behaviors that we've always had when we're a certain age. Some things are just hard to get rid of. King Baby. Another one of the disease moves on offense is it moves with abuse. Those suppressed abuse that we sustain. Maybe childhood atrocities, being bullied, maybe being sexually molested. These are types of abuses that offense, the disease moves in on offense. Then we got vindictive. Vindictive, meaning that he says something to me, I say something smart back. Or I wait, he says, good morning, who you talking to? Type behavior, you know? Small things. These are all small behaviors, but they turn out big and it keeps us in the loop of addiction. The next one is fault finding. Who's not my fault, it was their fault I used. Always pointing the finger at someone else, not taking the blame, not letting someone call me on my stuff, being closed-minded. That's the other way the disease moves on offense. Old mindsets. If we come in here one way, we got to leave out of here another. That old person can't come in here and expect to recover. A new person has to, as he says, grow. So the next one is lustful eyes, being lustful. The flesh is weak. You know, look at her with them shorts on. Ooh-wee. Lustful eyes, man. I think they pay that. A couple dollars in my pocket. Yeah, disease. Yeah, no, but knowing what this woman does, knowing her behaviors, you know,
and yours too.
And yours too. You can be sober and still have them behaviors. You can have 30 years clean and still be out there tricking. You know what I'm saying? Behavior. And I should have put behaviors up there because that's one of the key ones dealing with the disease of addiction. Being arrogant, think you know it all, head get big. You know, I got 30, 40 years clean. I don't need no help. I don't need to put my hand up. Last night we sat in on a meeting. Not only did we do meetings, we did a meeting. Right. And we heard a man with 20-something years clean talk about he still wanted to use. Right. You know what I'm saying? So this thing doesn't stop. This thing progresses, even as we get older. You know, we ought to always be on our defense. Now, I'm going to jump over to defense real quick, meaning we got to change the mindset. We got to strengthen our mindset. So once we strengthen our mindset, that means we got to get the pollution out and start putting in some good things, like prayer, networking, surrounding ourselves around people that are doing the right things, people, places, and things, knowing that I can't go into a bar and socialize with my buddies because that's not a healthy place for me to be. I keep going to the barbershop, hanging out with my homies. I'm gonna mess around and get a haircut, right? Yeah. So I gotta be mindful of me. I can't do your inventory. I only can do mine. You know what I'm saying? So the next thing is esteem. You gotta build your self-esteem. When we fall from grace, a lot of times we want to beat ourselves up. We go through these emotional struggles or these identity crises. So we gotta build our self-esteem up so that we can strengthen ourselves. So we're able. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Just because we stop using, don't mean the world's gonna stop using. That's right. You know, like I told these guys the other day, I'm waiting for the train. I walk up, the lady's pushing her crack pipe. You know what I'm saying? First thing came to my mind was, look at her. But then I said, but look at me. That was me. That was it. You know what I mean? So I couldn't take myself out of that acting like I was being arrogant or even ignorant, because there go I. So I prayed for her and I went on to my OP. But I got to my OP and I put my hand up and I talk about it. Why? Because if I don't talk about it, I'll obsess over that. Damn, that looked pretty good what she was doing. Man, I remember when I used to do that. You know, I'll start obsessing. And the next thing you know, well, I could probably go do one. Ain't nobody gonna know. By myself. Then the little thing in the back of my head starts talking to me. Man, you doing what you're doing is the right thing. Ain't nobody watching you. You can go as you please. You ain't got nobody questioning. Man, one thing won't even know about it. Yeah. So. Lay's potato chips. Huh? Lay's potato chips. Lay's potato chips? Just can't take. I never did one of anything. One woman, one drink, one drug. So I know I can't do one and done. Then we go, well, what I got? Networking. Oh, we talked about that. We talked about the Queen Baby. Fault finding. What else I got on here before Dirk jump in? Because Dirk's got a long list of things up there that he's going to run through. Well, we got to be honest. Another way that this disease plays with us, the honesty. Yep. If we gotta get honest in this process, because if we don't get honest, who are we really lying to? Ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And God. But we're not lying to God, because God knows all. He knows all. So we're lying to ourselves. So what are we doing? We're setting ourselves up for our next fall. So this is where now we got to be on defense with awareness. I ain't got awareness up there, but that's part of the defense that we got to move on. We got to be aware of these things. We got to be aware of our behavior. We got to be aware of the people that are around us. We know that eagles don't hang with chickens. They eat them. Right. So we got to be aware of those people. The next thing we got to be we got to learn. We got to forgive. We got to learn how to forgive ourselves. Is that for you or for the other person? For you. For us. It's for both of us. Well, even though that person might not. What's your name, dear? Huh? Mandy. Miss Mandy, how you doing?
All right, but even though that person might not recognize that you have forgiven them, might not even expect it, because sometimes we hold grudges because we don't expect the other person.
Amen.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
But if you forgive yourself, you understand what I'm saying? For either allowing or actually doing the perpetrating of the action. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I don't care if you don't forgive me for that. You understand what I'm saying? I forgive myself.
That's right.
I forgive you for what you did in retaliation or just your actions against me that caused me to do something. Because every action does have a reaction.
Yes.
Right.
It
Amen.
doesn't have to be physical. It can be mental.
That's right.
It can be something up in your head
Uh-huh.
that causes you to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And that person can have a reaction same way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tit for tat thing.
Okay.
You know, you can,
Door goes both
you can
ways.
forgive and you can be forgiven.
Yes, you can.
You know, so that one action that you're not forgiving me for, somebody else just might come along and forgive me for. And what you don't forgive me for doesn't become important to me anymore, especially if I learn to forgive myself and accept the fact that what I did cannot be changed. I cannot go back to it. And if I go back to it, then I'm chancing old people, places, and things, and old behaviors.
Yes, ma'am.
And I stay away from that today.
And how much time you got, Miss Mandy?
April the 19th coming, 2024, I'll have 35 years.
Woo!
All right.
I'm glad what you said, Miss Mandy, because
And I'm not giving it to nobody.
I know that's right. And look, I have 8 months and some odd days, but I count them now.
Right.
But I count them gracefully.
Aha.
I count them day at a time.
Okay.
I don't project. I'm gonna have another 3 days on Friday. No, I stay in the day.
Uh-huh.
I keep it simple.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I've learned acclimate these little things to my daily routine, Miss Mandy. I learned how to say, I'm DeAndre, I'm an addict. The problem's me.
Me.
It ain't this building.
Nope.
It ain't the people in it.
Nope.
It ain't the therapist. It was me. Because I went and got the drug didn't come get me.
Right.
And when they called, I picked the phone up.
Right.
See, nobody can, it can't get in me unless I put it in me, right? Amen. So guess what I learned to do now is I learned to just take it subtly, day at a time, peacefully, gracefully. I'm at peace now.
Me too.
I'm very much at peace now.
I am too.
And grateful and thankful. Derek, you want to hit with something?
Yeah, thank God for last night's rest, this morning rise. Thank God for his grace and his mercy. Grace is always giving me what I don't deserve. And mercy is not giving me what I do deserve. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Amen.
How everybody doing?
He said,
All
"You
right.
call me?"
It's always a pleasure being back here at Conway House. All right. Thank God for Brother Dash right here. Thank God for Brother Jim and Brother DeAndre. Thank God for Brother Thomas. Let's give it for Thomas, y'all.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
All right, and I love y'all, man. Just y'all our family. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we gonna get right into it. All right, we got a menu. A menu of relapse warning signs. All right, because everybody's scenario is different in the building. And some people never did drugs. Some people don't have mental health. Everybody's not homeless.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So what we do have in common is what? Behaviors.
Behavior.
It's a change we must.
Or die we will.
Let's get into it. Number one, who reject help? Who reject help? Help is on the way, but I reject help. Anybody been there before? All right, rejecting help. Is that dangerous?
Yeah. Yep.
Very good. That's a form of what? Closed-minded.
Minded.
Anybody closed-minded?
Yeah, I talked about that, didn't I? Did I get on talk about closed-minded? No, I did old mindsets.
Yeah. So we gotta what? Welcome to help. Right? How about who watched The Messenger so you missed the message? I don't like The Messenger, so I always miss the message.
I seen a hand over there.
Come on. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
okay.
All right. How about right here? Cutting down or stop going to meetings. Cutting down or stop going to what? Treatment. For
I
us,
don't need no help.
right. That's therapy for us. That's our medicine. So if I discontinue what was helping, giving me sustaining life, maintaining life, empowering my life, guess what? I could be in what? In trouble. I might do less doses like I used to, straight out the gate out of recovery facility, right? So it's less, but I'm still what? Engaged in what? Meetings. All right, like you said, we don't always come to talk. We come to what? We go to meetings also. How about thinking I'm cured? Why is that dangerous? I'm cured.
I didn't do as much drug as they did.
I'm well. Everybody hear that? Anybody been there before? I did that. I'm on a recovery program. I didn't know it was me, not the damn crack. It wasn't weed. It wasn't alcohol. It was Derek McKnight. And when I didn't want to take a look at Derek McKnight, I always ran from Derek McKnight. So I always got another situation, another program, another season for the same damn reasons. I'm cured. I'm never cured until they bury my black ass 6 feet deep. Then I got it. When I'm no longer breathing. How about resentments? Who holding grudges? Resentments. Who holding grudges?
It's my mom's fault I used. She left me. She abandoned me. It's her fault.
Resentments. Hurt people do what?
Hurt people.
Right. The person who hurt us, they've been what?
Hurt themselves.
Hurt themselves. All right. Recognize that, and we can do it. Easy said than done. But I gotta understand you to accept you to finally forgiving you. But it starts with me.
Yeah.
Then it moves to you. Who feel like they're not having no fun? Anybody?
Who's having fun in recovery?
Anybody feel bored?
I was miserable out in the street. I ain't come here to you.
Say that again, sir.
I was miserable out there when I was you.
Amen.
I didn't come here to be miserable.
Everybody hear that?
Yes. So what you doing different? What's your name first of all?
Hey, John.
How you doing, Mr. John? What you doing to keep the zest and the fun in your life?
Just striving and sharing my stories. All I'm able, if I share my stories to somebody else, it will help somebody else in their recovery.
Oh, okay.
How much time you got clean?
Be careful there.
5 what? Years?
Oh.
Hey, 5 years. God bless you, brother. Have fun. Recovery. I thought if I wasn't doing drugs, I could never have fun. But the devil is a liar. This is fun here. Traveling from Philadelphia to DC on the megabus, 3-hour trip. Take rest. Finally, I got 14 dogs at home. I never could really get rest because I'm always bombarded by what? The activity.